presentation, you'll see what I mean. Next slide, please, Katie. Okay, the Power of Fucoydon centres around the potent and healthy benefits of Fucoydon found in the Limu Moui. It's part of a seaweed. It's the slimy part of the seaweed that they extract this Fucoydon from. This is power-packed super nutrient has been used for centuries in Tonga, Japan, and other areas of the South Seas because of its ability to increase well-being and to regenerate healthy cells. So this is right down to the cellular level. Fucoydon is unlike other elixirs, unlike other elixirs, providing intense support for the structure and natural regenerative function of your cells. Next one, thank you. While the human body appears to be one solid mass, and if we took a closer look, it reveals that we're comprised of trillions of individual cells which make up all parts of our body, you know, eyes, nose, hands, liver, heart, and those sorts of cells. Thank you, Katie. Every system and organ in the body is dependent upon a foundation of specialized cells. For the most part, these cells are inherently able to take care of themselves by naturally expelling toxins, regenerating, and self-repairing. But our cells can't do everything, especially as we age, and age is the point. Thank you, Katie. The lack of proper nutrients, pollution, exposure to harmful chemicals, aging, and genetic mutations can interfere with the normal cell functions. Thank you. While the human body appears to be one solid mass, a closer look, have I just done that one? No, Fucoydon supports the healthy regenerative properties of your cells and is a great way to stay on top of your game. Thanks, Katie. Sisel's patented manufacturing process helps to maximize Fucoydon's sulfur Fucoydon content. This allows you to get all the benefits that the Limu Moui has to offer. Thanks, Katie. We use purified, concentrated extracts of seaweed that contain 3 types of Fucoydon: U, F, and G. Each one of these has a different property, which Tom has integrated into the one Fucoydon bottle, which makes for an amazing supplement that tastes fresh and helps you feel fantastic. Thank you. Okay, the powerful seaweed-based formula contains amazing active components such as Limu Moui, black pepper, signature fruit. Now on the right-hand side, you'll see some pictures there of the actual seaweed and the black pepper and the fruit, the signature fruit, which Sisel included in this. Fucoydon's ingredients are efficiently absorbed, contain anti-inflammatory properties, provide cell regeneration, antioxidant support, assist in promoting the health of nearly every system in the body. That's phenomenal. Thank you, Katie. Numerous scientific studies have shown that many powerful nutritional supporting properties of the Fucoydon from Limu Moui featured in Fucoydon. Thank you. 1 to 5 people who regularly include Fucoydon in their diets enjoy substantial advantage of the good health it may supply. Fucoydon provides support for natural liver functions, immune system, circulatory system, neurological system, energy and cell metabolism. Thank you. And not last, digestive health. Thank you. Fucoydon helps your cell. This is a recap of what we've just gone through, so we'll just go through these 5 points. These are 5 reasons to drink Sisel's Fucoydon. Fucoydon helps your cells regenerate. The potent formulation Sisel uses to make Fucoydon provides the cellular nutrition your body needs to keep your cells healthy. And healthy cells regenerate at a much better rate than unhealthy ones. Thank you. Fucoydon helps your immune system. The healthy ingredients used in our formulation help your body's immune system to operate at peak performance levels. Fucoydon helps with digestion. Users regularly write to share with us how a shot of Fucoydon after meals helps their digestive system work better and more efficiently. Fucoydon supports healthier and happier livers. The all-natural ingredients combine to help your liver function at its best, and better liver means a healthier body. Fucoydon's based ingredient is Limu Moui, the superfood of the sea. Scientific studies have proven that nutritional value of the sea vegetable, Limu Moui, is packed with life-extending nutritional elements. They've added years to the Pacific Islanders' lives that have consumed it for centuries. An interesting point is, in Japan, there's a region there where they have the longest or best longevity, because they actually consume this fucoydon. They live in excess of 100 years. Thank you, Katie. Now, this is a testimonial, and I'll just read it to you. Since I started taking fucoydon, I have noticed more mobility in my joints, more endurance and less discomfort after riding my bike for long periods of time. I am sleeping better and I mentally feel stronger. I highly recommend this product for its regenerative properties. I love the fact that it's backed by significant science and research, and that's what Sisel do, the science and research. Thank you. Now, this is another testimonial, but it goes for about 7 minutes, so it is really well worth listening to. This is a phenomenal testimonial. Thanks, Katie.
Steve, very briefly, as briefly as you can, condense it down. You told me a phenomenal story about your dad and cancer, and how he was feeling pains and whatnot. He went for some testing. He found out he had cancer, and I'll let you pick it up from there and let us, tell us what the latest up. Steve, very briefly, as briefly as you can, condense it down. You told me a phenomenal story about your dad and cancer, and how he was feeling pains and whatnot. He went for some testing. He found out he had cancer, and I'll let you pick it up from there and let us, tell us what the latest update is on your dad.
Well, 2 months ago, my dad complained of some major pain. Well, about 3 months ago, he's complaining about major pains, and it kept getting worse and worse and worse to the point to where he couldn't sleep at night. He couldn't function. He was in so much pain. He said if somebody slammed the door or yelled or if he coughed or anything like that, it was just unbearable. So I told him to go into the hospital and check it out. I didn't know exactly what kind of pain he was talking about, but I thought he was saying he had some that it was in his kidney region, and I thought, well, geez, maybe he has a kidney stone or something. So, kidney stones being very, very painful, I thought that could be a possibility. So I said, go get a CAT scan and check it out. So he went and got a CAT scan, and they found a cancer tumor in his prostate, a cancer tumor in his bladder, and a very large cancer tumor in his lower back region, in and around his backbone, intertwined with his spinal column, the size of about a tennis ball. And so they ordered an MRI to be done, which they sent him home, and then he came back for an MRI, and they found 3 more tumors that the CAT scan didn't pick up. So he had 6 total cancer tumors, and they said he was absolutely hammered. And anyway, so they started to check him into the hospital, literally putting the sheets on the bed and handed him a gown and told him to go change and to get in bed. They were going to start a drug regimen on him, and they were going to start radiation on him. And he called me and said, Steve, I don't want to check into the hospital. And I said, well, then walk out. You're a big boy, and this is a free country. And he says, well, they're telling me I have to check in. So he actually went to pay his copay, and it told him he'd be right back. He went to pay his copay, and then he slipped out the door and went home. So my dad's been studying stuff about different medical stuff. He's read the book, The China Study, and some different things. And so he basically said, what would you do if you were me? And I said, it doesn't matter what I would do. You need to decide based on the information that you gather. So I sent him all kinds of information on, cancer treatment, from, radiation chemotherapy to proton therapy to, natural remedies and everything in between, dieting, reducing meat and dairy products and all that stuff. But one study that actually it wasn't even a study. It was an actual cervical cancer patient, stage 4, 52 years old in Japan. They measured her. She came into the hospital and they said she was too late for surgery and they sent her home. Another doctor called her and said, "Would you like to take Sisel products and see if this will do you any good?" And anyway, what happened was, in 3 months, May 7th, they started her on 3 ounces a day of Fucoydon Spectramax products, and they started on May 7th, and on the 17th of June, they increased it from 3 ounces of each of those to 10 ounces of each of those. Now, they measured her hemoglobins, her platelets, her white blood cells, neutrophil, all the different things, as well as 2 tumor markers. And when they increased it, when they had her on 3 ounces a day, it was diminishing. And you can see that, on the medical chart, the graph going down of the cancer tumors. Now, on the 17th, when they went to 10 ounces a day, it dramatically decreased the cancer tumors. And on August 8th, which is 3 months later, they did a cytopathology exam and actually detected no cancer there, negative through cytopathology exam. And they conducted at another location a second cytopathology exam and also was found negative. So anyway, with all the different sources of information that I sent my father, who's in Illinois, that I gave him, he called me back and he said, "I'm going to not choose to do the hospital regimen and the chemotherapy and all that, the radiation." Actually, they wanted him to do radiation, so he chose not to do that. He said he was going to do what this cervical cancer patient in Japan did. So my dad, who never had bought Sisel products before, chose to buy 10 bottles of Fucoydon, which I think is our best product that we have. But anyway, he bought Fucoydon, and he started taking it 10 ounces a day, just like this other patient did. Now, my dad said that the doctors gave him Percocet, which is a narcotic for pain. He was taking that every 4 hours, a couple of pills every 4 hours. And while he was, trying to sleep and function and whatever, he was pretty much bedridden for a while. And he started taking the Fucoydon, and on the 6th day of taking Fucoydon, he called me and he said, I've been off of the pain medication for 48 hours, for 2 full days. And I said, what do you mean? Are you doing that because you're white-knuckling it, because you're trying to be tough and you don't want to be on medication? He said, no, I'm doing it because I don't have any pain. And so, anyway, he basically said if he coughs still, he could feel the pain, still, but on a normal basis, he didn't feel it. And then a couple of weeks later, he said he didn't even feel the pain when he coughed. And now it's a couple months later. I talked to him this morning for quite an extensive time, and he has told me that he, not only when he coughs can he not feel it, but he has his wife push on his lower back, and he said when she used to touch his back, he could feel that there was something foreign, a foreign object inside of him, and it was the cancer tumor. But he says now she can push really hard and all over, and he doesn't feel a thing. And he says he feels like $1 million, and he's been walking around the block every day and doing things. He says he feels great. And I'm telling him to go back in and get an MRI to check, what those tumors look like. But he says he just doesn't want to go back to the hospital and visit it, that he knows that it's working and working well. So anyway, that's the story with my dad. But the neat thing that's coming about this is he has people that know his situation, and they're asking him, how come you're coming to church? How come you're walking around the block? How come you're, up and doing things? And he said, I feel great. And they're saying, what happened? And so he's telling them the story. Well, I'm just taking, products from a company called Sisel.